welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and we're having a full moon in our hands. It's 3 a.m. in the morning here, and I just couldn't believe how bright the moon was outside when I um, woke up from my nap to perform the live for you guys. So, the moon became full today for you, 4:37 p.m. that is to be exact, and it is full moon in Capricorn. The degrees, for those of you, my friends, that are interested in astrology, that will be 18 degrees in 50 minutes. And this phase will be all the way up until July 24th, when the moon will become new in Leo, in the second degree and ninth minute. What I mean under phase, well, this is going to be a waning phase of the moon from full moon to a new moon. It's a waning phase. And that is, so we're going to check today how this phase will, well, what kind of an influence that phase is going to exert on all of us. So the first thing that I'm always doing, that will be the collective reading. Hello, News Devon. Hello, Yasmin. Welcome to the stream, girls. And let me just shuffle my cards and see how just collectively that phase is going to influence the world. I'm sorry if I want to apologize in advance if I'm a bit winded. I felt a bit dizzy a few moments ago. I don't know why. So hopefully that is just a momentary kind of like discomfort. So girls, have you planned your holidays already? I mean, summer holidays. Right, so the first card for that, ooh, waxing moon, waning moon, I'm sorry, that will be Judgment. Oh, it's all right, Newsavon. I have been worse. Yeah, I have. In fact, I had a really good meals today, more meals than I usually do. The second card, that's gonna be Death. And the third one, that is going to be Knight of Pentacles. Staycation, you say. Oh, there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, Yasmin, my opinion on holidays and vacations is just, I don't know, a reason to burn some money. Because if you are happy with your life, for example, with your spouse, with your house, you can make your vacation at home, and it will be just as good as going somewhere. That's probably true. Now, no, I do have a condition, and I think that it is playing a role in it. I don't know how it's called in English, so I'm gonna try to extrapolate it from my language. It's gastritis. Probably, I don't know. It could be something. It could be something different. Hello, Amelia. It's a condition of the digestive system. Many people has it. Nothing life-threatening or anything. But it reflects sleep, also food digestion, and it makes you feel really uncomfortable. Oh, that's great news, Devon. Right, so back to the waning moon. That is going to be a rerun, refresh, restart uh, that we are to establish. What I mean here is that probably it had already started because the orbis of the moon is very big. What I mean of orbis, it is that it starts to influence far before the actual event. So, for example, the full moon, the influence of the full moon begins about, I believe, 3 days before the moon becomes full. And it's stronger in those 6 days, 3 days before, 3 days after, and then starts to wane until it reaches the new moon, and then the influence shifts in a new one. But probably had already started for many of us. So what happens here is that there will be well, it's quite difficult to describe it here. Okay, a let go. A let go will stay. That is going to be the grand result of this full moon in Capricorn. There is going to be some kind of a result, some kind of a consequence or a situation, or just not a subject, but oh my God, what was the word here? Circumstances. Some kind of a circumstances that we were kind of like preparing, being ready to let go of, because I don't know, under the energy of the death card, usually people don't see a way going forward with it. But the new moon in Capricorn is going to unfold those ways going forward with it. Say you saw no way how you can grow your business a week ago or a couple of weeks ago, and when this full moon is hitting, now you are starting to see the bigger picture. You can now see that in this business there is a room to grow, and in fact there is a big room to grow. And next couple of weeks are going to be very important, because that is exactly what we're going to see about these kind of fields of our lives that we are emotionally attached to, but are preparing to leave for a lack of purpose, for a lack of belief in their future in general. We're going to see the bigger picture. There is actually future, and it is a bright future. And in the next couple of weeks, this future, it's likely to start manifesting in the best way possible under the energy of the judgment, because this development, of reviving a hope for the future could have happened with many elemental dignities, the death card and many other cards. I will give you a few examples here. It could have happened with a Ace of Wands instead of Judgment. It could have happened with the Magician instead of Judgment. It could have happened with the Strength card instead of Judgment. Ten of Wands, for example, instead of Judgment, and so on and so forth. But with the Judgment, we're talking about the perfect development, unlike with any other tarot card, having it next to the death card. Because with the judgment, this is going to be our personal way, seeing no compromises being done whatsoever. And so we can safely say that by the end, the way that things are developing, we are going to happen to be entirely fulfilled with the new revival, resurrection, or reincarnation, if you want to call it, to the enterprise we were ready to abandon a few days ago, or maybe a week ago, who knows. And This waning moon is also going to present us with some shortcuts that we can take. No harm done, of course. We will be willing to sacrifice quality over quantity, if you will. Uh, so my point here is, and I think I wrote that in my daily reading today, because there were similar cards that are expressing that there. You know what? To the starving person, whether you are going to prepare a feast or just a meal is going to be all the same for them, because they wouldn't care what they're throwing down their throats. Only thing that they are going to care about is eating themselves fill. And that's why sometimes, you know, over performance or over investment, it produces nothing more but the same thing as if you have just done it in a ordinary manner. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that we can take some shortcuts in that waning phase of the moon, not trying to strive for perfection. If you do, that's totally fine. Just you may end up seeing no additional gains and no additional results for that you have throw something extra in your performance in one thing or a another. And so, my friends, if it happens that you are facing some kind of a situation that you don't know what kind of a choice to make, because you do have options available there, but none of them is something you would particularly like, well, you are in a luck, because in the next couple of weeks, one will present themselves itself to you. That is going to be the perfect one for you. This is going to be the gift from the moon to us. And that is the collective reading. We do have a new hope on our hands. Hopefully, all of us will be able to manifest it. And now, a few notes about the show before I move forward. There are going to be 12 readings just like this one. That was a complicated one. Hopefully, the readings for the star signs are going to be more straightforward. But 12 readings like this one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces because I'm running down the ecliptic here. And these are going to be generalized readings, all right? So take the information more as a guidance than anything else. But if you do wish to have a personalized reading, you can always go to my website, which link you can find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you can see full list of my services, their pricing, and based on your budget and also your needs, you can go for whichever one suits you best. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show, you can support the channel by subscribing for it if you haven't already. Leave a like, comment as well. That is if you feel so, of course. And if you think that this video can help someone you know, then you can share it with them as well. And if you finally want to support the channel financially, you can do so as well using Super Chat or a PayPal, which link you can find in the description down below as well. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That is pretty much guaranteed, just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you. You're already into the list, so at the end of the stream, you're going to have personalized reading of how this waning phase is going to affect you. So that's it. For star sign, we have Aries. You can keep up with what star sign I'm reading for through the glyph being right there. Okay. Miss Devon, thank you. £5. Thank you, Miss Devon. Let me put you to the list. All right. You know what kind of a system I have to use for that kind of a question, so it's going to be the Lenormand system. Right, so for Aries, first one. It's the Lovers. Second one, that will be Queen of Swords. Third one, we do have the Empress. Now, I'm gonna start with the rough stuff. The Lovers and the Empress as an elemental dignity says that things are gonna happen rather on a rush. So throughout the next couple of weeks, as far as the moon is concerned and how it's going to influence you, it is that you wouldn't have much time to catch up your breath and also to scale in peace, I would say, your options. You have a choice to make, and you may need some time to scale up which option you should take, and that time will not going to be granted, or at least as far as the moon is concerned. And so you may have a really hard time coming up with being satisfied. I would say that the choice you are making is the correct one. You may continuously having doubts should you have not chosen the other way around. Well, the thing about the next couple of weeks for you, Aries, is whatever decision you make, it's going to be right. There will be actually no right or wrong choices next couple of weeks, because each one of them is going to help you push your things through. No matter the target, no matter the person that you need to go over, and so on and so forth. If you have it's more a matter of determination than anything else. It all is going to come down to the consequences and whether you are okay with them or not. Because one option is going to push your thing through for a certain price. The other one is going to do the same thing, but the price is going to be different. So it all is going to come down to what kind of a price you are willing to pay, whether that's going to be a price of a friendship, whether that's going to be a price of your integrity, okay, whether it's going to be a monetary price, or whether that is going to be a stationary price, like the place you are living in, and so on and so forth. But ultimately, there is going to be a price to all that. And if you are okay with it, then this waning phase of the moon is going to will restore the harmony in your life. Now, usually people, when they see the Lovers card, they kind of like get excited because it's interpreted as a big love coming your way. It's the true love. And the true love is the B word, right? Because what true love is under the philosophy of Tarot is making people one whole. And what is one whole? Well, everything you are, the other one isn't. And everything the other one is, you aren't. That's why you both combine and you become one whole. So that means that if you are united with someone under the influence of the Lovers card, that person has completely opposite interests, completely opposite views. They live in a different world that complements other or yours, I'm sorry, but it is not yours. And so it all comes to that, whether those differences you do have, you will take as something that makes you special for one another, or you will take them as a wedge in between you two. And this is going to determine or decide whether you can manifest that true love or not. But the physical attraction, definitely there. Okay, Mattia. Hold on a second, MT. Yes, I am. Yes, I am MT. I may need about 15 or 20 minutes, but I'm definitely gonna be available for a read tonight. So, yeah. Teresa, thank you for the 20. Mwah. Thank you, Teresa. Let me put you into the list and also your inquiry as well. Or Teresa. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Okay. All right, next one. Teresa, you are gonna get your reading at the end of the stream. All right. Taurus next. First one for Taurus, Four of Pentacles. Then it will be the Ace of Swords. And then it's Ten of Pentacles. All right. And this waning phase of the moon by the 24th of July, there are going to be so many things you want to say to so many people. Truths right in their faces. You would want to twist that knife, that sword in their hearts. And at least according to these cards, this is going to be the worst thing you can do because it's going to undermine everything that you're working for, literally. It's going to damage your future at work, damage your future with your spouse if you do have one, or with your person of interest, damage your future with your friends. And the worst of all, I don't know how exactly, but definitely is going to make you very reliant and very dependable. Okay, so next couple of weeks for you, Taurus, it's going to be best if you keep your mouth shut, especially if it comes to truth. And this isn't just only delivering, but also seeking for it. There are going to be good things happening to you. A raise at work, an insurance that you are going to be where you are to stay, okay, like an insurance that you are going to stay at that place and you're going to work and you're not going to be laid off, or assurance that this person is going to be with you maybe for the rest of your life, and so on and so forth. And you would want to know why, okay, why that is happening. And I just can't fathom the reason. But if you start seeking the truth of why, you're gonna lose that assurance, basically that security of the future gone. And this security of the future, or of your future, will also going to provide you with a very, very strong independence. One thing that you also, that is very specific for you Tauruses, it is that it is very likely in the next couple of weeks someone from your past to show up. And when I say that, I don't mean the narcissistic ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, because every time I mention that, people say, oh no, I don't want that narcissist or that sociopath or whatever. I'm not saying that it's gonna be that one. Someone from your past. It could be a childhood friend for all we know. uh, there are going to be some things you will know about that person that they don't know about themselves. You may know, for example, that they have been cheated on, or someone told something about them. Don't mention it. Just don't, because they are going to go away. They will not gonna stay and take it. Okay, so that was Taurus. MT, thank you for the 20. Thank you, MT. Let me put you into the list. Okay. And at the end of the stream, you're gonna have personalized reading. All right, next. Gemini. Hey, Taco. Welcome to the stream, mate. And thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. You're already in the list. I just don't bother taking you out there, mate. As well as Yasmin. You are my most consistent patrons, and I'm thinking about rewarding you anytime soon for that. Thank you, Taco and Yasmin, and MT as well. You also, thank you. News Devon, you are in that list as well. Thank you for supporting me for so long. You four. All right, Gemini. You're cooking steaks. Actually, I'm making some steaks tomorrow for my girlfriend and for myself, of course. I learned a recipe that I performed twice, and anyone who tried the steaks said that they are godlike, right? I never tried them myself though, so I'm planning to try them tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm gonna make the performance right. Gemini, Eight of Cups. It is the first one. Thank you, Yasmin. Six of Swords. It is the second. And then it is the Sun. Thank you, Yasmin. You know, it's funny. No, it's not funny. Actually, it's very sad to me. Um, there are people like you guys who does believe in me in such a high extent, and there are times I don't get me wrong, I never doubted a forecast or a prediction I gave, but the talent that you see in me is something that I don't think I have. And it's kind of sad. Anyway, that's besides the point. Again, Gemini. Well, this waning phase of the moon is not going to be easy on you by a large margin. You're going to find yourself in a many, not very, but a many unfulfilling situations. So what is going to drive you mad and crazy and is going to make you so pissed off? It is that you would know that things could have been different, that the circumstances could have been better. But either someone haven't done their job, someone had delayed, something had happened, and now you are ending up with a halfway done job in generally unfulfilling circumstances, which are obstructing you, at the very least, are obstructing you to do your job, that is figuratively speaking, you know, or to do love, for example, to your fullest extent. you know that you can do so much better, but you can't because your boss slept over and haven't told you about that important thing you had to attend to, or your coworker just doesn't know how to do their job, you know, or I don't know, your spouse is just in a dour mood today and you're in a so good mood and such a good mood and you want to do something about your relationship. That is just for example. Okay, or a friend you have placed the great hopes at, they just don't give a dime about your cumulative efforts. And these situations are going to drive you mad. And throughout these couple of weeks, to a many extents, or at many points, you would want to go to extreme extents. That is what you are. That is what you will want to do. Like lash out, cut loose, make severance, etc. It's worst thing you can do, literally going to the extreme next couple of weeks, because these are going to be a temporary circumstances which are going to smoothen up on their own accord. Okay, take it as it's just the influence of the moon, and after these couple of weeks the circumstances around your endeavors are going to colossally improve just on their own accord. You don't have to do anything. You just have to gnash your teeth right now and just powerhouse through these couple of weeks. Nothing else. Because the future promises much better perspectives and potentials in your endeavors. We just have to survive next couple of weeks. Thank you, Yasmin. All right, next, that will be Cancer. Ooh, Nine of Cups, I'm sorry. The Tower, that's not good. And the third one, that is going to be Five of Wands. Funny thing, that reminds me of myself, and especially when I'm playing video games. I don't have anything in Cancer, but it reminds me so much of myself. Next couple of weeks, you are going to end up with a very fulfilling results and advances, progress in about everything you do. Okay, and you will be happy, but how much happy? Because that Tower card and that Five of Wands next to the Nine of Cups, do you know what it shows? You start an enterprise and you're making a very good progress and you're happy with this progress, but at some point you make a review over your work and say, you know what, I can do slightly better. So I'm going to start from beginning and I'll try to make that tiny improvement over there so I can make it a bit better. Oh man, that's gonna be awful. Nothing good is gonna come out of starting over in the next couple of weeks. Next couple of weeks are all about maintenance, not a progress. Okay, so the waning phase of the moon is gonna put under a test, and I don't mean challenging test, it is just is gonna put under a test everything that makes you happy. Your relationship, if it makes you happy, your job, if it makes you happy, certain friendships, if it makes you happy. And this test is going to be about you personally. You are not going to be tested by your spouse. They are not going to give you hard time. The test is going to be whether you are maintaining that relationship correctly or not. Okay? Do you pay your due in it? And if you do, that happiness you have ensure to be a long-term one. If you don't, and you try to restructure, rebuild a short-term one, I don't know if it's gonna last these couple of weeks even. And another thing for you, Cancer, next couple of weeks, you should be the most predictable creature in this world that there is. Because any kind of surprising maneuvers or any kind of surprises in general are going to be scowled upon, that is to be said the least. And these surprising maneuvers or surprises that you may try to make, instead of making a good results, are gonna have a devastating ones, at least according to my cards. Oh no, Yasmin, it's a very good read. Okay, you just need to maintain next couple of weeks. Okay, instead of again, let me give an example with a client of yours. Okay, let's say that you have reached an agreement, and instead of live up to that agreement, what is going to be the urge is when you revisit it, you can say, oh, you know what, I could have squeezed them a bit more here. I could have milked them for all they got. So you pick up the phone and you call your client and say, you know what, I don't like the agreement we have reached. Can we reach a new one? That's going to be the worst thing you can do, because that's not maintenance, it's a rebuild. And any rebuild you try, or any rebuild Cancer try, is going to have a devastating consequences, rather than if you maintain, meaning live up to the agreement you have made, to the rules you have established, and generally, to the responsibilities you have taken, then you are going to have no problem whatsoever. And instead, you will have that fullness of life. You are going to feel very fulfilled, experience sensual joy, and that thing that you are going to maintain is going to make you happy for as long as you're maintaining it, for as long as you entertain that deal, for as long as you maintain the happiness of your child, if you do have one, for example, if you do maintain the friendship instead of trying to rebuild the friendship, and so on. Okay, next one, that will be Leo. And by the way, if any of you guys decide to support the stream and the channel through Super Chat, you are going to have a personalized reading at the end of the stream. Okay, yeah, Leo. Ten of Cups. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. And then it's Eight of Cups. So that is a promise. And I will use an example here, and I profusely apologize to everyone who may be sensitive to the example that I am going to use, right? But I think that through that example, I will make my points across most clear. So the example is as such: distant relationship, and the Leo in that distant relationship receive a promise from the other side that at some point with fixed date, okay, they are going to be together. I mean, that the other side tells them, you know what, at that point I can't come to you, right? You have to believe me, I really really want to do, but right now it's impossible due to the circumstances. But I really value, believe, and I hold on to what we have, and I'm gonna come at some point, I promise. It's a genuine promise. So next couple of weeks for you, Leo, are the weeks of a genuine promises, in which, yes, you may wish to be different at that point, but it can't be different at that point. However, it will be in the future. And so you just have to hold on to the hope. And those promises, they don't have to be given through a people as well. I mean, you may have an enterprise that isn't developing very well, but it has a promise to develop. It's a promising enterprise. And you can sense that at some point it will take off. That is also a valid promise under the energies of, or under the influence of those cards. Because in that waning moon, you're going to see a glimpse of a potential that is heretofore unexplored, and you are about to tap into it. You are very very close, you are nigh to tap into it. Not in the next couple of weeks, but you are going to be promised that it's coming, and it's yours to tap into. So you just need to have a bit more belief. And when you are reassured, when that promise reaches you, uh, your life, either all of a sudden or slowly, progressively, is going to either start worth living again or increase in worth. All right. Next, Virgo. So give me a second though. Because I forgot to put your inquiry in empty. Okay. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, King of Wands. So not much to be said about Virgo. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward read. The previous 6 star signs, it was they were complicated reads, but that one is not. So under the influence of the waning moon, everything that is currently ongoing is gonna thrive. Any deal that you have is going to be more lucrative, and any relationship you currently have is going to start becoming more and more harmonious. But everything new that you may try, it's not going to work out very well. So it's in the next couple of weeks, it will benefit you most to just keep on with your current undertakings than seeking new enterprises. Simple as that. Which will hinder a bit of your ambition, because in the next couple of weeks you're going to start developing an ambition about something, but you just not going to feel quite ready to transform that ambition into a rather powerful drive. Okay, next, that will be Libra. Nine of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. Give me a minute. Yeah, it's you. That waning phase of the moon is going to give you a foresight or a foresight that there are some difficulties coming your way, some problems that you will inevitably face, Libra. And there are going to be two ways how things can go about that. One is just to play ignorant, to say that you're gonna end up being lucky, and at the end of the day, these concerns are not gonna have that big of an impact or any impact at all, and so pretend that you didn't have that foresight. This foresight doesn't have to be a psychic foresight. You can just, deduct that at some point that person is going to create issue, or that project is going to hit a wall, and based on your just professional opinion and experience. The second way how you can go about it is start looking for a solution right away through a consulting. So next couple of weeks, it will benefit you if you do start consulting with professionals and also with a loyal companions. And if you go down that road, I guarantee you, at least according to these cards, that by the end of these couple of weeks, by the 24th of July, you're already going to have the solutions before those problems even hit you, before those problems even become a not foreseeable, but plausible. Because your foresight is going to go beyond the plausibility. You're going to see things coming not mile, but 10 miles away. And you're going to have their solution, their answer, before they actually approach you in any way possible. And when these difficulties starts manifesting, you are already going to have them being resolved. So literally, you're not going to feel them at all, but you need to start seeking for that solution right away, right after you do have that insight of yours. Okay, next that will be Scorpio. What in the world? Hold on a second. Just give me a moment. Because I messed up my deck. I don't do reversals because I do use elemental dignities, and there are some reverse cards in my deck. Not anymore, there isn't. Just a quick note, elemental dignities is the better way to go about tarot rather than reversals. I used to do reversals before, and it's just not my thing, and they can't give you that much of an insight as the elemental dignities can. And both methods, they don't go well together at all. They just don't work together. At least they don't work through me together. Scorpio, 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. I just can't believe it. Waning phase of the moon, one of the most productive, could you believe it, phases in our recent months, maybe even our recent years, because we're going to have almost everything that it is expected from us done, attended to, and successfully completed, which is going to give us the option to move on to the next, I would say, kind of like a level with our projects, with our job, you know, even with our relationship, if you will. And the whole performance, it's not going to be that difficult as well, although it's likely to present a bit of negligence in one thing or another, but not over an important aspect. So even if we show a bit of a negligence here and there, it's not going to have almost any impact on the assessment at the end, assessment from our boss, for example, or from our spouse, and so on and so forth. And so ultimately what it's going to come down to is that this waning phase of the moon is going to happen to be a very successful completion of an important cycles in our lives, presenting us with so many opportunities going forward afterwards. But we need to be rather quite mindful which path we take. What I mean is that what kind of an opportunity we jump into, because not all of them are going to have a happy ending. And before we decide what we are going to do next, we need to scale it with a clear-headed mind in order to analyze, if you will, or deduct whether it's going to be something that's worth it or not. Because these completions of cycles, they are in the bag. But what happens afterwards, what we are going to or how we are going to grow stepping on that foundation of successful completion, it's in our hands. And there are going to be some risky enterprises we don't want to mess around with and we don't want to involve ourselves in. Okay, next, Sagittarius. Page of Cups, King of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, really good with the Page of Cups. It's a future that will be worth it every step of the way. It's basically a future, yes, that it's looming over you, which will require some change on your behalf. Change of opinion, change of position, change of behavior. That is not going to come on a cost of a sacrifice. I mean, that is not going to be a big deal for you to make. But the future, worth it every step of the way. Very positive change is looming on your horizon that will emotionally attach you to. And I had that conversation a couple of days ago. Why do people change? Okay, people don't change because they want to. Okay, because you may want to quit smoking, but do you quit smoking? People change because something they love makes them do it, not intentionally. But if you are with someone you love, for example, you want to make them happy. And if there is something you do that makes them unhappy, makes them miserable, you are miserable. So you are going to change that in order to make them happy so you can be happy. That's the point of the change under the influence of a Page of Pentacles. And this doesn't have to be person for you, right? Maybe some kind of promise, maybe some kind of a target that is now possible, but definitely there is that waning moon. You're going to have a looming change on the horizon. Well, it is most likely a person, but not, it's a general reading, so take it with a grain of salt. And what is going to be the downside of the phase of the moon is that you won't be able to exactly make a strategy or put your finger on how exactly you are going to manifest that future. And you may be not quite, but some sad to a certain extent about it. But it's going to be completely normal not to know how to go about it right now, because again, that is a looming, not a present change. When the change becomes present in a couple of weeks or maybe in a month, then things are going to become clear for you. What's going to be the strategy to manifest it to 100%? That future, I mean, that you're going to fall in love with, because that is a future that you're going to fall in love with. Okay, next, Capricorn. Knight of Cups. Oh my God, Page of Pentacles. Temperance. That waning phase of the moon, you will happen to be everything that they have ever wanted for someone, most likely a friend of yours. So you're friends with someone and at some point they realize, oh my God, that's you. I mean, I want you because you are everything I have ever wanted for something. That's a good thing, but what is not going to be a good thing, it is that they want you in a certain way. I don't mean sexual way, you know, in a certain way. For example, they want you to be obsequious, or they want you to be subservient, or they want you to be, I don't know, cheerful and whatnot. And I will just not going to oblige, you know, to your preferences, and will try to, can I put it into words, guilt trip you into be for them what they want from you to be for them. Okay, so whether you're gonna fall for that, you know, whether you're going to cave under that emotional manipulation in the next couple of weeks, it depends entirely on you. But ultimately, you should know that someone around you that you already know, I do believe that you are very close, is developing feelings. How you're gonna answer those feelings, it's your choice. Aquarius next. What, Teresa? What about the Page of Pentacles? Page of Cups. Ten of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Very similar. But so what we have, it is that due to the waning phase of the moon up until the 24th of July, you're going to make someone very happy of you. I would say as well, very proud of you, and you will happen to be enough for them. Okay, it doesn't have to be romantically, but most likely. So you're gonna happen to be enough for them, and so they, at least at that stage, they will have no objection. They will have no additional request, if you will, from you, because again, you will fulfill all of their personal and as well emotional needs. And I would dare say that that individual is gonna fall in love with you even more. That's going to be the pivotal point where someone realizes that they can't do without you. So yeah, that you are the most valuable thing in their life, I would say. Most valuable thing in their life. Okay, and last but not least, that will be Pisces. Eight of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Hierophant. The waning phase of the moon, very unpredictable for you, Pisces, in terms of that the hard work that you do put in won't matter that much, or as much as the right timing and the right people that you are associating yourself with. And next a couple of weeks, you may see some injustice being around you. You may not get yourself involved in it, but you're going to see it, and it's going to affect you to a certain extent. Under injustice, I mean that you may see someone doing a very poor job, very poor performance, and making bigger results than you are. Okay, but it's just as simple as that. So what is going to be important for the next couple of weeks throughout the waning phase of the moon is for you to be very, very opportunistic and not to miss a chance presented, because you're going to have a lot of chances, right? A lot of chances, and it's all about luck, and it's all about opportunism. And another thing that you need to know for the next couple of weeks is trust no one and rely on no one. You can use people, but trust them with your life, I wouldn't do that, having kind of having those cards. but you're gonna have a lot of ways how to go about one thing or another, and it's all about a personal preference, and you should pick the easy way forward rather than the moral way forward, at least according to these cards. All right, that's gonna be for the 12th, and now the super chat. So anyone who supported the stream and the channel through super chat or a PayPal, you're about to have a reading right now. Oh yes. Oh. All right, first one, Yasmin. Those are the cards, Yasmin. It's a new befriendship. I'm saying befriendship because it's a person you are already familiar with, in a sense of that you do know about their existence. But what will happen in that waning phase of the moon is that you will discover that you both are having the same needs. Okay, the same needs for example, career development, the same needs for example, makeup, and so on and so forth. So you're gonna find a person who shares your vision, shares your feelings, okay, shares your opinion, and not just only that, but shares your dreams as well, in a sense of what you think is important and essential for life. They think about the same, and so you are going to have, yeah, MT, I have already inputted that inquiry of yours. It will be about Saturn retrograde. But back to Yasmin. So you're gonna come up with I would call it a soulmate, but not a romantic soulmate, all right? But a person who can fulfill all of your needs when it comes to social and when it comes to adventure, right? Because they do feel just about the same thing. They need the same adventure, they need the same craziness, they just need the very, very same thing than you do. And if there is a situation where everyone abandons you, that one will not. So again, this is going to be an opportunity for the friendship, whether you do take the friendship, that extended hand of a friendship or not. It's entirely up for you to decide. And other than that, the waning phase of the moon is a phase where you should take care of yourself. Sorry. What I mean is that you should put yourself first, and everyone around you will understand that. Will understand that at this point, that is something you need, and it is something that's not just only need, but it is a need of your soul in order to revitalize, recuperate, and uh, be functional to 100%. Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. But yeah, and this friend is going to be very adventurous. So you can expect a lot of not crazy, but really interesting suggestions for travel, for some stuff to do Uh, oh, maybe. See, already happening. Yeah, hope so. Hope so, Yasmin. All right, next, Teresa. Is a job that you think? Let me read the inquiry more precisely. Hold on a second. Um, so, is the job that I once thought was gone going to come back around? Give me a second. You're welcome, Yasmin. Definitely yes. Um, those are the cards. Definitely yes, but I don't know if you are going to be interested in it because the time that is going to come, you are already going to be, Teresa, in a process of shifting your priorities, orientation, practice, career development, something like that. But with that Ace of Cups next to the Page of Cups, this speaks for a hope renewal, and this is exactly what you are talking about here. You have lost hope that you're going to get that job, so you're asking whether that hope is going to be restored or not. Yes, it's going to be restored, but I don't think that you are going to cling to it that tightly as you are right now. So yeah, the job is going to come around. You're not going to be that much interested in it at that point. And truth be told, with that King of Swords, you're not gonna get that much as you think you will from it. So there are definitely better places you can be. You can work at. All right, next, Taco. You don't have an inquiry, I believe. Hold on a second. No, you don't. All right. So it's generalized one for the transit, for the waning phase of the moon. Well, that's waning phase of the moon, Taco, is gonna give you some breather. Those are the Lenormand cards for you. I had to draw the tarot cards before I can tell you about the Lenormand cards, just to confirm my suspicions here, because they do. Well, a friend of yours is gonna do something stupid. We can see those cards. We can see that also from the tarot cards. Basically, they are gonna make an appropriate act, not toward you in general, but toward the social circle. And their act is going to kind of stun you because no one literally will share their opinion, their points of view. But I think that you're going to be most vocal about it by the look of those cards, and you're going to be the most outspoken about that. An appropriate act or an appropriate say that that friend of yours is going to do. And unfortunately, mate, the worst it is that they're doing it because they're bored. All right, so it was the completely needless tension being created amongst you and an acquaintance of yours that simply could have been avoided through a very little compromise, and you should have just kind of or both of you, no, the other side, not both of you, but the other, because you don't have any finger in it. In those conflicts, you are challenged to those conflicts, but your friends should have sat in their butt, okay, instead of kind of like provoking these conflicts. Now, other than that, Taco, next couple of weeks in terms of a personal development, you are going to feel like you're going to be ready for, or you are ready for some kind of a new enterprise. Now, what kind of a new enterprise you won't be able to put your finger on right now, but definitely you will feel that you can plant more seeds of your labor, and therefore they to produce more fruits of your labor. So I do believe that the next couple of weeks are going to be more about thinking and deliberating what you should do next in term of adventure and in term of something quite meaningful. Although I do advise you by the look of those cards not to seek any approval of anyone, because at that point people are just going to have a different opinion what is good for you, and basically what is good for you is going to be anyone's guess, but what is going to be the most important guess, it is your own guess. All right, so just make that suggestion to yourself, and when you feel truly ready, emotionally ready, just go for it. And other than that, just don't pay attention to these cacophonists, I would say, in your social circle. It's just out of boredom, and yeah, they are just simply not right about it. I think that some kind of a present or a gift is going to provoke that, like, um, they're going to mock on the gift, or they're going to mock on the present, they're going to mock on the bonus or on the progress of someone, and that is going to create all the hustle in it, in your social circle. So that is about your waning phase of the moon. Next one, MT. You want Saturn retrograde. All right. Oh, I don't know. No, I mean, I know about the cards, but Saturn retrograde is gonna be a really good transit for you, at least according to these cards. And I think that this growth, it's about in your family, okay, rather than business and at work. So, due to the Saturn retrograde MT in your family affairs, you are gonna end up accomplishing the results you wish to accomplish, right? Doesn't matter what your husband wishes, or doesn't matter what your children wishes, or your siblings wishes. Ultimately, at the end, what is going to come down to it is what you wish. And throughout that Saturn retrograde, you will be able to not enforce but accomplish the result that you do personally wish. And the Saturn retrograde itself is going to be the point in the transit where you're going to make so many leaps into development, not just only personal one, but also business wise, love wise as well, right? That is a transit which will offer you that in a certain way. And there are going to be so many untapped potentials that you aren't exploring and you are not capitalizing on right now, that you're going to come up being aware of. And whether you're going to tap into them or not, it is kind of like entirely up to you. Saturn retrograde for you, MT, is also also is going to be a transit of consolidation. You will be able to make about every important field of your life as secured as possible. And unless you decide to let go of it, no one can take it away from you. So it should be really, really good cycle or really, really good transit, especially productive and especially growthful for your family. And last but not least, News Devon, what's coming my way? She asking. Those are the cards. Your way is coming a friend. News Devon, a friend that is going to be very alike. You and them are going to be very alike, and you are going to go on adventure. That is coming your way. Okay? You are just gonna go on adventure. Doesn't have to be a traveling adventure, but you are gonna go on some kind of an adventure with that one. Alright, guys. So that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and also thank you so much for your generosity. We're gonna see each other Sunday. When we're gonna have, hold on a second. Sunday is 13th. We do have Saturn retrograde, so it's gonna be about the Saturn retrograde then. Yeah. And yeah, with that said, hopefully you do have a wonderful weekend and see you on Sunday. Until then, bye.